So let us go for the topic now. So let us examine the theory of natural selection by an experiment. Okay, experimentally, the theory of natural selection was verified by industrial melanism and evolution by anthropogenic action. Anthropogenic action means man-made actions are called as anthropogenic action. What is meant by industrial melanism? Industrial melanism means selection of melanic forms. Selection of melanic forms during industrialization. So here, if you remember that the melanic forms are selected during industrialization. Example we have taken as Biston betullaria, commonly called as peppered mouth. The Biston betullaria is having two phenotypic forms. That means it appears in two forms. One is the white winged moth, and second one is black winged moth or melanic moth. So this by experiment was conducted in the London. So before industrialization, that means in the year 1815 in England, the bark of the trees were covered by white lichens. Okay. So when the bark of the tree is covered by white lichens, the white winged moth camouflaged with the bark of the tree. That means the white winged moth mixed with the bark of the tree color due to the presence of white lichens. It is present among the white lichens. But the black winged moths are easily identified by the predators. What are the predators of these moths? Means birds are the predators. So during that time, the black winged moths are less and white winged moths are more. Right. So during this period, the white moths camouflaged with the surrounding background of the tree. So the black moths were picked up by predators. Then if you see here, during industrialization, that means after the establishment of industries, you know that due to the establishment of industries, the industries releases a lot of smoke, okay, due to the burning of coal. So the industries has released the coal soot, and this coal soot has been covering the bark of the trees, so the bark of the trees became black in color. So during at that time, the black winged moths are more and white winged moths are less. So you can see here, these are the white winged moths and this is the black winged moths. You can see here. So during this period, the black moths camouflaged with the bark of the trees as the bark of the tree became black due to coal soot. So predators picked the white moths. Okay. So during the industrialization, the white moths are less and black moths are more. And this was experimentally proved by Bernard Kettlewell. Okay. And due to the lichens will not grow in the industrially polluted areas. So we can use the lichens as industrial pollution indicators. Now let us go for the evolution by anthropogenic action. Anthropogenic action means I told you that it is the man-made action. So when we spray herbicides and pesticides, then only the resistant forms will survive. Okay, some of the microbes or some of the herbs and fungus are very resistant to the herbicides and pesticides. Okay, and this led to the evolution of resistant forms. So these resistance forms show resistance for the herbicides, fungicides. Okay, then when antibiotics or drugs are used excessively, only the resistant microbes will survive. The remaining microbes which are not showing any resistance will die, but the microbes which are showing resistance will survive. And this led to the evolution of resistant microbes. So if you see here, the evolution of resistance fungi and microbes takes months or years, but not millions of years. Why? The lifespan of the lifespan of fungi and microbes are very short. It is not years, it might be days only. So that is the reason why the evolution of resistant varieties of microbes and fungus takes very short time. Now let us go for the next topic, that is the adaptive radiation. What is adaptive radiation? It is the process of evolution of different species in a geographical area and starting from a point and radiating into the all habitats. So this is one point, and these organisms are radiating to different points or different habitats in the same geographical area. So the process of evolution of different species in a geographical area starting from a point and radiating into all habitats is called as adaptive radiation. Right, example for adaptive radiation is Darwin finches, marsupial mammals and placental mammals. So let us see the first one, Darwin finches. Darwin finches are named by Dr. Lack. So what are Darwin finches? Darwin finches are small black beak birds. Where these Darwin finches are found? The Darwin finches are found in Galapagos Island. These Galapagos Islands are located near the South America. And Galapagos Islands are considered as the living labs of the evolution due to drastic changes in fauna and flora due to presence of different types of habitat in these islands. So the Darwin finches have been evolved from ancestral birds. So if you see here, so here the ancestral bird is present. What is the ancestral bird means? The ancestral bird is a small black beak bird present in the South America which feeds on the seeds. So these seed eating birds have been evolved into different varieties basing upon their feeding habits. So some are like fruit eaters, some are insect eaters, some are cactus feeders, and some are seed feeders. So basing upon that, they have got modifications in their beaks. If you see the shape of the beaks have been lot of modified, and each and every bird evolved into different species. So where this ancestral bird is present? The ancestral birds of finches belongs to South America, and Darwin finches differ in size and shape of beak and also feeding habits. Okay, now let us go for the next one, marsupial mammals. So marsupial mammals means all these marsupial mammals have been evolved in Australia only. And marsupial mammals are dominant in Australia continent due to lack of competition. So several marsupials have been evolved from an ancestor stock, and all of them only in Australia. Right. Now let us see the marsupial radiation. So all these marsupial mammals have been evolved in the Australia. So what are the examples of marsupial mammals means? This is the ancestral stock. From ancestral stock we can see Tasmanian wolf, tiger cat, banded anteater, marsupial rat, kangaroo, wombat, bandicoot, koala, and marsupial mole and sugar glider. So all these are marsupials present in the Australia only. Now, if you see the next one, placental mammals in Australia also exhibit adaptive radiation in evolving into variety of such placental mammals. If we see the ancestral stock from a common ancestor, they have evolved into anteater, mouse, wolf, lemur, bobcat, flying squirrel, and mole. If two or more adaptive radiation occurs in the same geographical area, it is called as convergent evolution. So here in Australia, there are two adaptive radiation. One is the adaptive radiation of marsupial mammals, and second one is the adaptive radiation of placental mammals. So both of them has been took place in the Australia continent only. As there are two adaptive radiations in the Australia continent, we call that one as convergent evolution. This is very important. Okay. So adaptive radiation 1, adaptive radiation 2 together called as convergent evolution. Now let us go for the parallel evolution. What is meant by parallel evolution means evolution of two different traits in the same area in the same habitat and having same features for adaptations is called as parallel evolution. So there are two different types. You can see here the marsupial mammals are there and placental mammals are there, and both the marsupial and placental mammals are having similar type of adaptation, then we call them as parallel evolution. So you understood that convergent evolution means if two adaptive radiations are taking place, we call that one as convergent evolution. Parallel evolution means two different tribes are evolved in a same habitat, but they are adapted for similar functions. Then we call that one as parallel evolution. For example, you can take here the mole, marsupial mole. Placental animal is mole and marsupial is called as marsupial mole, and both of them are adapted for burrowing. As both of them are adapted for burrowing, we call that one as parallel evolution or convergent evolution. Next one, anteater, and second one is marsupial is numbat. Both of them are adapted for ant-eating. It is also called as parallel or convergent evolution. Next one is mouse. Marsupial mouse and placental mouse both are burrowing, parallel and convergent evolution. And these placental mammal and marsupial mammal resembles with each other. Though they are two different traits, they are resembling with each other. That is the reason why we did not include the mouse and marsupial mouse here. Near this marsupial mole, near that one. Okay. Yeah, both are same only. Lemur. Lemur or spotted cuscus, arboreal. That means they live on the trees. Parallel or convergent evolution. Flying squirrel. Flying phalanger. Flying. Parallel or convergent evolution. Bobcat and Tasmanian tiger cat, predator. So they are parallel or convergent. Wolf and Tasmanian wolf are predators and parallel and convergent evolution. So here I have given you the diagrammatic representation. So here, see, you can see here, the functional status is called as niche. So this is the placental mammal, the comparative tabular form for placental mammals and Australian marsupials. So here we can see the mole and marsupial mole, both are burrowers. Then anteaters, numbat and anteater, that is also they are anteaters. Mouse and marsupial mouse, lemur and spotted cuscus, we can see the comparison. They'll be asking you the comparison. Flying squirrel and flying phalangers. Then cat and bobcat and Tasmanian tiger cat. Wolf and Tasmanian wolf. So we can get a comparative question. So if the placental mammal is wolf, what is marsupial mammal means? It is a Tasmanian wolf. So you will get this type of questions here. Then wing of butterfly and wing of bird is convergent evolution. Then shark, ichthyosaurus. Ichthyosaurus means it is a fish-like reptile. Okay, and whale, these are adapted for swimming, so they are convergent evolution. And we see the marsupial anteater and placental anteater, both are adapted for ant-eating. We call that one as parallel evolution. Now let us go for the next one, biological evolution. So we see the main essence of Darwinian theory is natural selection. Then initiating force of organic evolution is mutations. And driving force of organic evolution is natural selection. So evolution of life forms started from origin of cellular forms of life with different metabolisms. That means if we see the evolution of life forms started from the origin of cellular forms. Okay, cellular forms with different metabolic activities. Okay, then the rate of appearance of new forms are linked to their lifespan and life cycle. Okay, if the new forms should be appeared, what is the rate of formation of new forms depends is related to what means the rate of appearance of new forms always depends upon their life cycle and lifespan. Okay, if the lifespan and life cycle is short, then the rate of appearance of these organisms will be very fast. For example, you take multiplication of bacteria into millions occurs in hours. Why? Because the lifespan of bacteria is very short and the bacteria can replicate very fast. Here we have taken two colonies, colony A, this is the first one bacterial sample and this is the second. In first bacterial sample we have given one nutrient medium. So the bacteria A or colony A is adapted for the given medium and is growing in that medium. Then when the medium has been changed and this bacteria A is kept in the changed medium, this bacteria A evolve into bacteria B. That means some of the bacteria are adapted to the changed medium and they survive and they grow. But the bacteria which are unable to survive, will die in that the changed medium. I hope you understood that. So when the medium is changed and the bacteria A was introduced into the changed medium, some of the bacterial cells evolve into bacteria B, because the bacterial cells which can adapt to the changed medium will evolve into the bacteria B, and the bacteria A which is unable to survive in the changed medium will not survive in that medium, they will die. Let us see. Evolution of colony of bacteria B takes within days, because the lifespan of this bacteria B is very short. Then if we take the evolution of fishes and birds, it takes millions of years. Why the evolution of fishes and birds takes millions of years means because the lifespan is very long. So if you see the fitness of B in bacterial medium, the fitness of B is better than A under the new condition. Okay. So the fitness is based on characteristics that are inherited. Okay. The bacteria is having certain characters which can survive in the changed medium, and these characters are inherited. Okay. So that bacteria A, which are having the characters, has been evolved into the bacteria B. Then nature selects the fitness. That means the nature always select the fit organisms. So nature should have genetic basis. End result of adaptability and natural selection is found to be fitness. Okay, if the organisms are adapting, what is the end result of adaptations means? It is nothing but fitness. According to Lamarck, evolution of life forms had occurred and driven by use and disuse of organs. So according to Lamarck, what the Lamarck is telling that new organisms has been evolved depending upon use and disuse. If you use any organ, that organ increases or that organ grows in size. If you are not at all using any organ, that organ will decreases in size or degenerates. So best example is elongation of neck in the giraffe. So generally if you observe the giraffe is normally a sheep-like organism or a deer-like animal that feeds on the grass present on the land. But as it found the food is inadequate, so it started to feed on the leaves of the trees. As it started to feed on the leaves of the trees, it started to stretch its neck and also raise its legs. So finally, we got a long necked giraffe, and the long neck of giraffe has been stabilized in the environment, and we are seeing the present day. Then we see the Darwinism. There are two key concepts for Darwinism. One is branching descent and one is natural selection. Facts of Darwinism. If you see the facts of natural Darwinism, natural resources are limited. It's a very important point, this one. That means the resources are always limited. So resources are not increasing with increasing population. So the population always remains stable. Why? The population always remains stable because the resources are limited and support only to the limited number of individuals only. The organisms which are unable to get the resources will die, and the organisms which are able to get the resources are surviving. Then, variations occurs among the members of population. Okay, the changes occurs in the members of population, and these variations are inherited. So this is about the biological evolution. We will see the next one in the next class. Right? Thank you very much.